everyone, and welcome to another episode of Car Wash Magazine Live. I am your host, Matt DeWolf, Editor-in-Chief of Car Wash Magazine. Welcome, everybody. This is going to be a great show today. I do want to first start out with just a reminder of why we are here. Why does this show exist? So this show, Car Wash Magazine Live, exists because of you. The whole goal, everything about it, is about bringing you together, bringing the car wash community together, and telling your stories, sharing people's stories, and lifting up the car wash industry. So with that in mind, just remember this is a safe space, it's a positive place, and we're going to have a little fun, as much fun as we can have. So one more thing I want to just remind everybody about, we are leaders in our community, and so take that very seriously. Take care of your people. I'm really looking forward to being able to tell the stories as folks come out the other side of all the tumult that we're facing right now, to be able to tell the stories of what car wash leaders in this industry have done to make a big impact in their communities. So I'm really looking forward to that. Make sure that you're up for that challenge. So, all right, today we are talking brand matters. So all things brand. We're going to get into that a little bit more specifically with one company, Mr. Clean Car Wash, who is leveraging a consumer brand that a lot of people know as they expand their efforts. But before we get there, I want to talk just a little bit. You know, brand, it's just a logo, right? I mean, that's all it is. Nope. It's definitely way more than that, and we're going to get into a little bit of that. If you're a little maybe tired of kind of reading the standard brand books and the same old stuff, I've got a recommendation for you. So this is kind of like for the nerdy of us out there. It's called The Physics of Brand, right? And so The Physics of Brand, it's by Aaron Keller and a couple of his colleagues. It takes a little bit different approach to talking about brand, and it's very holistic. But it runs this whole metaphor about physics, and so you kind of gotta be into that to appreciate it. But it's going to talk a lot about full brand experience and how that evolves over time and space and all this kind of stuff. But it's a fun read. Highly recommend it. Check it out. Before we go on to anything else, I do need to remind you about the resources available to you from the International Car Wash Association, carwash.org/sharing. Remember, right now there's a lot of COVID and reopening resources there for you. There's some HR resources there for you. Over time, we're going to continue to update that page and make sure that there's all the resources you need to keep yourself informed on what's going on in the world and how that might apply to your business. The other thing I want to make sure that everybody's aware of is the Industry Pulse. And so that's carwash.org/industry-pulse. What we've got there for you is two surveys, an Industry Pulse survey on the operator side of operations, and then an Industry Pulse survey on the supplier side of operations. And so between those two, we're able to get a really nice sense of what's the sentiment in the industry and how are things going and how are things moving as we track along all things 2020. So if you receive an invitation to complete that survey, one of those surveys, please do take the time to fill that out to the best of your ability. Helps us keep our data accurate and helps us tell better stories to you. All right, everybody, guess what? So back by popular demand, my favorite segment and yours, so we got jokes. So this week, this is a good one, you guys. This one's fresh this morning. Are you ready? I'm ready. Okay. What do you do with all of your old high-pressure nozzles that have died? You send them to the Oh, I blew it. Hang on. What do you do with all the high-pressure nozzles that are dead? You send them to the nozzleium. Hey! Guys, that's fresh this morning. That's what you get. If you have jokes that are better than that or worse than that, send them to me at mdewolf@carwash.org. That is what you get today. A blown joke by Matt. All right, so we're going to bring in Stuart from Mr. Clean Car Wash. Stuart, let me get you up on the screen here, my friend. There we are. Stuart, welcome to the program. How are you?
Matt, yeah, I tell you, you need a new joke book.
No, it's the best. Hey, I will take full responsibility for that one, but not all of my jokes are my own. I will say that.
Well, that's true. You do. Okay, we'll leave it at that.
All right. Well, we can't all be winners all the time. So, Stuart, thanks for joining us today. I'm really excited to talk about brand with you and talk to you about what's going on with Mr. Clean Car Wash. But first, can you just maybe back up for everybody and tell them just kind of the elevator version of how you came to be in the car wash industry?
Oh, it's a long story, Matt, and I tell you, I'm dating myself. I actually started in service retail. Oh, it's been more than 40 years ago, and I've loved to wash cars even as a kid. But got into service retail, of course, schools and different businesses for many, many years. Started out in a organization that had automotive service. We did a little bit of in-bay automatics, also some rollovers, touchless, and quick lubes and things of that nature. Fast forward a few more years, I got involved in other retail services and businesses, including restaurants and some other tangents, and ran my own businesses for many years too. Always loved the car wash business. Always had a lot of great friends in the car wash business. From the quick lube industry, really got to know the car wash business even better because of the tying of the two associations that came together during that time to do joint ventures and joint shows and associations, and just continued to love the car wash business. Was involved on the fringe of it for many, many years as well. Ended up working for an organization that was based in Argentina. And it was a detailing concept that I helped spread throughout the United States. And then we did a little international as well with master franchises. Got introduced to P&G. It was a very long and interesting journey to P&G.
Just a small company, right?
Small little company, yeah. We had heard about that they were, considering the Mr. Clean Car Wash brand, and there were some insights into that, and some people I had known at P&G that got in touch with myself and others in the organization I was working at. And they said, why don't you approach them? And I thought about what we were doing. And I said, if we had a brand like Mr. Clean, that really could be a game changer because it would be recognizing what we're doing and putting a face to it that people have an awareness and trust for. So I approached P&G and got their attention. And a division that was a wholly owned subsidiary that was kind of a think tank using a P&G brand awareness and brands bring to retail. And they ended up visiting me in South Florida at the time, and we decided to do a test. And we did a test in Cincinnati with Mr. Clean Auto Spa. And the test lasted about a year. Meanwhile, they were venturing in it full service on an organization out of Atlanta, which is where I'm sitting today, which was Carnet's Car Wash Company. And they were studying with the Carnets, understanding the car wash business. They also started their own full service car washes in Cincinnati as well to test the consumer reaction to the brand in a retail service setting. So it was a great learning experience with P&G. My license agreement and test with them ended, and the auto spa went away, but they continued forward with Mr. Clean Car Wash. They subsequently bought Mr. Clean, or the Carnets, and it became Mr. Clean Car Wash. A lot of locations converted. Some locations didn't meet brand equity, and they ended up letting them go their own route and debranding. If we reverse just a little bit, one of my roles when I was in the automotive service and car wash business, I sold some stores in Atlanta, and it was about 25 years ago. The company that changed out the equipment for the new owner, guess what? It was Aces, which is one of the Carnet Management Company's companies, one of the three companies. And Aces did the equipment change out, and I met the entire Arnett's, the family, their organization at that time. And we became friends, over the years as well. We fast forward now back to about 10 years ago when I did the Mr. Clean Auto Spot. And
Stuart, you're immortal, my friend.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of years.
Sorry. So let's fast forward.
There's a lot in between too, and this is longer than an elevator speech, and I apologize, but it's a very interesting journey, and things always come back around, especially in the car wash business, as we know. We started back in. You've been at this for a while, right? So 10 years ago, this kind of started up, and then we all know there were kind of some ebbs and flows, and. But now, ended up meeting with them. Yep.
But so now here we are.
I left P&G, did a little consulting, and then ended up. Bruce texted me and said, "Hey, we'd love to have you on board. You know our business. You are a single point of contact. Come help expand Mr. Clean Car Wash and grow fast." So that's kind of where we're at.
Awesome. Well, I know. When I was last down there, I was actually in Atlanta. Got to see one of the old Carnets locations that since turned into a Mr. Clean. Great stuff going on down there, but I know then you guys had some really aggressive growth plans in the works, and then COVID happened. So has there been
Yes.
any slowdown or impact on your all side in terms of what COVID has done to your growth plans?
I tell you, the biggest impact wasn't us because construction was an essential, deemed essential. So really where it slowed down was the municipalities, the governments, municipalities, and the permitting process. Believe it or not, some counties and municipalities, people would work from home, but they didn't have access online to remotely work to get into their central computers. They had to physically go pick up paperwork and bring it back home. Makes no sense, but it actually does exist still today. So that did slow us down from permitting some of these locations, but we had plans in place way before COVID. On new builds, on conversions, on acquisitions, where it made sense, and additionally, with our two sister companies, I mentioned ACES and also Genesis, which many people know with the modular construction. It didn't really slow us down from a construction perspective, except for the site work, because the buildings still can continue to go forward and get into play and be ready to be delivered on site. So that really made us very efficient and almost like a pent-up demand for us to go ahead and open these locations as well. And it did give us an opportunity to also upgrade our locations here in the Atlanta market and take out and get them up to our current standards and brand initiatives that we have.
So I want to come back to that. I want to come back to this brand concept, right? So we were talking. I was talking a little bit at the top of the show about brand being more than a logo. Obviously, the Mr. Clean brand is very well known on the consumer side of the house with Magic Eraser and all the cleaning products. Talk to me a little bit about how that matters as you try to take a car wash, because there's two schools of thought. One is that the brand really, really matters, and one is that, hey, just put car wash on the side of the building and you're going to do fine. So talk to me about why brand matters.
I've been on both sides where I've had brands and I haven't had brands, personal and as part of a group, a larger group as well. And I tell you, in this industry, it's been fragmented for a long time. There's several well-known brands. Still doesn't necessarily resonate with the consumers or guests that are coming to the site. 123 Car Wash, whatever their name may be, it goes into any town USA as their brand, and typically they're not known unless somebody has traveled to other markets as well. Express Car Wash is where the explosive growth is, and it's really difficult to differentiate yourself in the express world because it's really about the convenience, the quality, the speed, and delivering something that's a perceived value on that unlimited program if you're on that. So when you bring an iconic brand like Mr. Clean, it's a game changer as far as the consumer because that has that built-in trust, that brand awareness. There's a amount of recognition when entering any market. You go into any market USA with Mr. Clean Car Wash. Oh, Mr. Clean, and they see the brand, and it's like, I know that brand, I use that brand. So that in itself at least gets you in as far as people trying you for trial. And how you execute is the big thing as well. So brand can get people in the door, and then how do you connect with them at the local level with the physical site, the tunnel, and then also having some fun at it, and really how you're connecting with them. How are you going to connect with them to, hey, this brand is good. Just because they're flying something doesn't necessarily mean they're really good operators. So it helps to get trial more than anything else, and also that brand equity that this guy's back here. That goes into that almost $1 billion brand that people know and trust and have trust for years. So there's something to be said for that. I'm a proponent of brand. I always have been. I've been part of franchising and other retail concepts, and brand does resonate with new trial consumers, and you are representing a larger brand, but also you have to deliver and execute, and that's the most important thing. And that the brand's not going to cover that. If you make a mistake or don't do a great job, then you have an issue, and the brand's not going to save that. You still have to execute on your operations and deliver the.
One of the things that's interesting to me is that, I said it is more than a logo, because the brand is how you show up every day, everywhere, in every aspect of your operation. And I think that's really important for people to remember. But I think that this, the concept of, okay, I have a relationship with a Mr. Clean brand if I buy Mr. Clean products on the consumer side, right? So, okay, great. I see a car wash that's got that brand. I recognize that brand. I have a relationship with that brand that I've expected on one side. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to try it out. It's got to meet all those brand expectations.
It does.
So
it does, but
how do you do that? And for an operator, maybe I'm an operator and I don't have Mr. Clean behind
you don't have
me,
a brand, right?
But what do I do?
I mean, the biggest thing is being true to your brand, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be a known brand. If you're a local brand, if you have a one location, operation, be true to your brand, your core values, especially to the people, because in this business, like any other business, it's about the people that are part of the business. Truly building the culture. And that is something that's very difficult to do in the car wash industry, because the full service, especially, because you've got to have a tendency to have a lot of turnover. So it's hard to build some of that culture, but your key personnel, building a culture of accountability, and really living the golden rule, taking care of your guests, because when they come on site, they will feel that culture. They'll feel that, people are smiling, genuinely smiling, and they're glad to be there. Yes, it's hard work. And yes, if they're in the finishing scenario where they're doing full service, it can be difficult. But if the guest really feels welcomed, and they're really, again, upholding what you want on your brand, on your core values, or, a clean car quick, getting it done quick, getting it done right, whatever it may be, it's being accountable, always continuing to improve your brand and your operations, having service excellence, having integrity, taking responsibility. We're not always right. Sometimes we're wrong.
Yep.
Sometimes we make a mistake. It happens. There goes, a shark fin. We've all been there. So take responsibility for it, own up to it, fix it, take care of the guest. That will go a long way. It will promote your brand and the culture. And it's also walk the talk.
Yep.
And that's something that people talk a lot about, a lot of things, and you got to deliver. You got to deliver on what you say. So that doesn't matter what your brand is. And you'll build that brand and that credibility by doing those things.
Well, hey, Stuart, we're going to get a sneak peek at some of the brand assets that you all have developed here a little bit later. So hang with me for a little bit here. I know that 2020 has been a lot of learning for me, but we're gonna cut right now to what have you learned in 2020 from Doug Marquis over at CSI.
So I guess to me, being through what we've all been through and we've been dealing with these past months, and of course looking forward to what we have yet to go through, I guess what comes to mind for me, the overriding lesson that I've continually been reminded of during this time, is simply this, and that's remember what's important and focus on those things first. So people are what matters. The rest of it will work itself out in the end if you keep your priorities and your vision focused on the people. That's your family, your team, your employees, and your customers. Always make decisions and take actions that are aimed at the needs and to the benefits of the people, and those actions will ultimately provide positive results for any business. It's pretty much as simple as that. It's my overriding lesson so far in 2020. Thanks for your time. Hope you're all doing well. Stay safe. Don't forget to wash your hands and wash your car.
So that was a really great learning from Doug Marquis over at CSI. Just talking again, like we always talk about the people and how important they are and how important it is really to take care of them. And so if you want to actually see a full episode of this Car Wash Magazine Live program dedicated to people, check out last week's episode 11. All about people, all about leadership. Really, really good episode. I'm biased. That's okay. All right. So if you want to be featured on one of those segments, if it's only a question, you can answer either what have you learned in 2020 or what's your favorite car wash story. So either of those, video yourself telling your story, and you can submit those then at, guess what? carwash.org/vidquest. It's my favorite URL on the planet. carwash.org/vidquest. Make sure you submit those question responses as soon as you can. So, all right, stop. Tour time.
Mr. Clean Car Wash has been around since 2008 with its foundation built on Carnet's Car Wash, which commenced operations in 1987 and then ventured into franchising in 1997. Here's what we look like today. It's a site-dependent design, a large footprint with full-service finishing in the front of the property and self-service vacuums in the back, and then our tunnel. A long history of success with proven systems put into place by the Arnett's. This, along with leveraging of the Mr. Clean brand even more so, we are looking to grow aggressively into the future. Here's a quick sneak peek of what our new model looks like. The renderings are clean and simple in design, but highlight bold color. And of course, the dominant feature is connecting our guests by leveraging the brand awareness, trust, and loyalty they have known from other consumer categories. You will see it in much of what we are putting into place today. The drone footage shows the current build for our newest location in Florida, and success is based on delivering a clean car quick, but also connection to the brand. So we're doing just that, not just in the building and tunnel, but across several outlets, especially a new social media effort. And we're going to have a little fun with it as well. Here's a few examples that literally are pulled from the raw footage still in final production this week, with much more to come.
It's no magic secret. Mr. Clean Car Wash is the best place to clean your car the way only Mr. Clean can. And it's no wonder with the amazing express wash, incredible attention to detail, free vacuums, and so much more. And when you go unlimited, you can wash as many times as you want all month long for as little as $19. Mr. Clean Car Wash. If you wash your car more than twice a month, go unlimited and the plan pays for itself. No contracts and no gimmicks. Join now for as little as $19 a month.
All right, so that was both a little bit of a look at what Mr. Clean is like today, as well as what Mr. Clean is going to look like tomorrow, and we got a pretty cool sneak peek there of some new brand assets coming out of this whole project. So that's pretty awesome. Stuart, hey, brand is most important as you try to go from 1 site to 4 sites to 10 sites to 40 sites. Tell me a little bit about what you all are planning right now from a growth perspective.
It's aggressive. As mentioned earlier, new builds, of course, a big concentration in Florida at the moment, also in the Atlanta, our home market. We're talking to people with, that are interested in converting, also in acquisitions as well. So these are all different things that we're looking to do for flexibility, but we have 4 stores coming out of the ground as we speak right now, and literally dozens of sites that we're in negotiation in different processes through permitting, and several conversations with groups or individuals about conversions and acquisitions. So it's really the beginning of what this company's been moving towards for quite some time. I'm very, very excited with the new social media coming out. You'll see some of that on all the different venues and outlets as well. And again, gonna have a little fun at it. And the brand is it's just fun to work with the Mr. Clean brand, and great systems from the Arnett's that they developed over the 30 plus years. And we're really poised to have a lot of fun and grow very, very quickly. So it's going to be hectic and frenetic, but we're up for the challenge and we're looking forward to it.
Well, that is aggressive, but it's really exciting.
It's aggressive.
Right? It's super exciting. Because this is something you all have been working on for a long time, and so it's exciting for you to be here today and to be looking forward in a time of growth.
It has been. I mean, it was 2008 when Mr. Clean Car Wash came to market, and a lot of people remember it was a big splash, and there was a lot of franchisees, and then the financial crisis hit and took the wind out of the sails, so to speak. But we're excited. We're poised for growth. We've had the foundation now in place for a few years, and coming back on board with Bruce and the team has been an absolute joy. It feels like coming home, and we have so much going on. It's a lot of people do in the industry.
Yeah.
So Express is definitely where we're going. With the flex option and because of what Genesis is able to do, we're building in that option to continue to go forward. If we open up an Express, we can open up a flex.
Yep.
Literally with very little work with the same on-site location that's already in operation. So we're looking towards the immediate and long term.
Stuart, I've got one last question for you.
Okay.
It's the hardest one of the whole bunch.
Oh boy.
What are you looking forward to?
Oh boy.
What gives you hope?
The smiling faces. Seeing smiling faces. Seeing people happy at locations, because we all see that. When we clean somebody's car, and we really deliver an exceptional product. Not only are we very satisfied, and all of our associates, all of our guests are very satisfied as well. So walking on a site, talking with our guests, our associates and team members, and everybody's happy and smiling, that is hard to see all the time. And you can really feel that. And that gets me excited and gets me motivated every single day to continually improve everything we're doing. So that's what I look forward to.
I love that.
Keep raising the bar.
Yeah, always.
Keep raising the bar.
Hey, I lied though. There's one more question. It came in through our.
You're good.
This one's easy. This one came in through our comments. What is the current location count right now?
We are at 8 locations currently.
8 locations currently.
Shrunk.
Okay.
Yeah, we shrunk quite a bit for many, many different reasons, and some franchise locations, some retired, some we decided weren't really worth re-upping because of location. Recently, we divested of a couple locations that were in a market that were very far away, and it didn't make sense to continue to support. But we're going to double in the next 6 to 8 months.
Wow.
Possibly more. It just depends how fast we can get these things up and running.
That's incredible. That's exciting. Like I said,
yes.
Here we go. Right.
Here we go is right.
Well,
Here we go is right.
Stuart, I'm gonna let you get back to the business of washing cars, or in your case, expanding to more markets. But as always, it's my pleasure to have you on the show. Super excited to talk car washing with you. Thank you so much for being on the program today.
My pleasure, man. I thank you as well, and thank you for your time today. And we look forward to seeing you the next time around.
Awesome. Thanks, Stuart.
Thank you. Take care, Matt.
All right, everybody. So here's what we've got for you. Couple of really quick last things, and I've got a really fun video to share with you at the end of this program that showcases one pilot's Quidditch potential, perhaps. So we'll get to that in just a second. But if you want to watch more episodes of this program, you can find those at carwashmagazine.com. Right there on the main page there, you'll be able to find your way to those. Otherwise, you can watch them on YouTube or obviously on Facebook. We keep all of these episodes on the Book of Faces. So you need to go to carwashthepodcast.com because that does have audio. It always has audio. There's no mistaking it. You're not going to miss it. carwashthepodcast.com. You can catch all the episodes of Car Wash the Podcast. You can hear David Begin and myself or either of us talking about all things car wash, bringing on guests from inside and outside the industry, just giving you inspiration, insight, and things to help you grow your business. So super fun there. My most exciting thing about that whole thing is really the intro and the outro. So if for no other reason, you got to go listen to those and have a good laugh with how we get into that program. All right. So the last thing that I'm going to leave you with today is a video that some of you, if you're on Talk Car Wash, you may have seen this video. I went out and got a little extra information from the owners of this particular wash. We're going to explain a little bit about what you're seeing as you go through this, but super cool video. Like I said, I think this drone pilot has a future in Quidditch. Otherwise, when you're out there, keep it clean. Diamond Wash Auto Spa, located in the corporate home of Walmart and Sam's Club in Bentonville, Arkansas. This site was first opened in April of 2019 as an express, but in July of 2019, the company expanded to a flex serve with 5 dedicated detail sites with an air-conditioned waiting lounge and 14 additional vacuum stalls for express customers. Owner Daniel Patillo says that in the region there's no shortage of insects and dirt roads, so each car is prepped before the tunnel. At the finish, cars are towel dried and tire shine is applied by hand, the combination leaving excellent results. Car washing is a service business, Patillo said. We've embraced the labor to make sure customers receive the intended experience. This tunnel is 150 feet long with a 130-foot STI belt. The wash utilizes all McNeil equipment in the bay, fired by a Laguna Industries motor control center and DRB point of sale, along with a Velocity Waterworks RO system and So Bright water reclaim. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.